Well, good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor. We're back here with another rumour mill out at 10 o'clock, as I keep saying. Not live this morning, everybody, because we did go live last night for around about 3 hours. So make sure you're checking out the stuff from last night. If you want some merchandise, you know what to do, people. We've got your Matteos 19 on the back. We've got your Tiger Tanakas all available amongst some excellent merch, I have to say. So for your Christmas collaboration, links in the description below. This video is sponsored by IPM Group UK. Get all your CCTV and surveillance needs. Rick and the gang, keep it in the Leeds United community, everybody. So, Leeds United winning the game last night, 3-0. What a game it was, everybody. And listen, the title is pretty indicative of what's happened, really. You know, Manor Solomon, let's start off with him when we get into the video. Everybody, make sure, as I say, you're liking and subscribing and getting your thoughts in the section below. I thought he was excellent last night. You know, one of the highest rated players across the sites, which we don't take into account fully because sometimes that can be inflated by goals. But his big chance created last night was top of the charts. I think he created 4. He was, I thought, really inventive in that first half, especially when he came down that flank, really, of which I've not seen him do a lot of. He becomes a little bit scripted, a little bit predictable, and he was a little bit different in that first half. I very much enjoyed his style of play, his football. And you're looking at it and you're thinking, right, well, if you can build on that, excellent. But also it gives Leeds United that availability, everybody, to not only include a certain man off the bench, but you know, you're looking at Manor Solomon creating 4 big chances in a game against a demoted side who, I don't care what anybody says, has a high level of quality within their ranks. And aside from Alfie Doughty, who's out last night, the majority of that team were playing in the Premier League last season and gave it a good go, and probably one of the most outstanding teams when it came to being promoted over the past however many years in terms of feeling and Kenilworth Road and going up against the big lads and not getting smacked. So really impressive from Leeds last night. Rob Edwards was discussing how good we were and saying that we were just an excellent team. And it's quite interesting because the other demoted manager who said that in Chrissy Wilder was almost adamant that Leeds were the best team in the division, and anyone who finishes above Leeds is going to get promoted. And kind of that's the same sentiment Rob Edwards was sharing last night. I think Luton will still be there or thereabouts when they probably sack Rob Edwards and bring in maybe a Steve Cooper and end up in the playoffs and end up doing quite well over the season. And I think we'll look back on this and think that was a really good win for Leeds United. Okay, something else this morning, everybody, on the rumour mill as well. Just wanted to put transfer rumours in here with the overriding performance yesterday, which was fantastic. Jack Harrison has been tipped to return to Leeds United. Dan Bardell of Sky Sports has suggested that, listen, it's going to be a moving back to Leeds United and not a transfer to Everton, which, yeah, I mean, as soon as we started following Jack Harrison's career when he moved to Leeds United, it was pretty instantaneous that he followed that hot and cold path. Sometimes he was great for Leeds United, sometimes he wasn't, and there are still certain individuals. Maybe you can look at Brendan Aaronson in that sort of conversation as well, and that's not to be too harsh on Brendan. I think he would say himself, and even said at the start of the season, that he needs to improve that consistency level. But Jack Harrison is very much of that mould in terms of hot and cold. The Everton fans are not enamoured with him whatsoever, especially the 2 or 3 that I know. And when it comes to that signature at the end of the season, of which Leeds were probably looking for more than 11 million quid, I think it's looking quite unlikely, to be honest with you. I think some of the signings they've made, I think probably the signings that they will make in the summer as well. Will Dyche still be there? It's probably going to be quite unlikely, and I think Dyche is very much the reason Jack Harrison's there. I'm not sure a top manager would be looking at Jack Harrison as his starting winger most weeks, so that's something that we have to take into consideration. But I do believe Jack Harrison, whatever the weather, rain or shine, Premier League or Championship, is probably going to be back at Leeds United, which I would just hope that Leeds will be looking at moving him on next season, because I think that's going to be absolutely critical in Leeds getting some really decent value back, hopefully for a maybe promoted side who go up, just not us. But alongside that, maybe a side who have just been demoted, and we might have to slash Jack Harrison's value, but I don't think he'll be useful, to be honest, to Leeds United, even in the Premier League. I think we need to move on from that era, of which was the Bielsa era. And yeah, I just don't think the consistency is going to be there from Jack Harrison on a Championship level if we're still there, or definitely not a Premier League level, and you're seeing that right now. So after a really good performance last night, Sam Byram unfortunately suffered a hamstring injury. It was a bit of a signing off period for Sam, of which we don't really see him a lot of the time putting together a series of games, and they've been intense games as well. They've been quick games, and we're actually extremely lucky that Junior Firpo's going to be back for the next game against Blackburn Rovers. He might be a little bit rusty because he's been out, of course, but Sam looks like he's suffered a hamstring injury, and I guess this is the problem with him. He was brought off in the 58th minute, and for me, it was actually Sam Byram's best performance in a Leeds shirt since he's been back at the club. I thought he was absolutely excellent, picking up the pockets just in the midfield, almost looking like an attacking midfielder. And I think genuinely that's probably why he picked up the injury. It wouldn't surprise me. He was everywhere, Sam Byram, on that sort of left-hand side and left midfield and attacking midfield role, making the runs every time Joe Rothwell made that activation. Go on, Sam, at the ball at his feet, and that ball over the top was consistently on, and Sam Byram was making that run. I thought he was excellent last night. And it's a real shame for him that he was brought off in the 58th minute, but the beautiful thing is I thought Verba came on and was really good. I thought his percentages were really good getting forward. He was always available for the overlap. And this is the point that we're at right now, everybody. You've got Max Verba as backup to Junior Firpo and a fully fit left-hand side. You've got Junior Firpo, you've got Isaac Schmidt, you've got Sam Byram and Max Verba. It's not bad, is it? And everybody, I mentioned this last night on the stream. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you do so. But I was talking about Brendan Aaronson, and I've mentioned it just with Jack Harrison there, and a lot of you might have thought that was harsh, or some of you thought it was harsh on the analysis of the game, and I didn't think I was too harsh on him, but I think it's just that consistency for Brendan. Last night he created 3 big chances. He was getting a lot of touches for Leeds in the final third. That's all well and good, but we need to be praising him for moments of magic, fantastic assists, lovely goals. And I think he's scored 4 goals for Leeds United this season, hasn't he? But I think it's that form which we have to take into consideration now. The last sort of 5 games, Brendan's really been off it for me. Last night I thought he was okay, but I think people are maybe thinking that he was better than he was because the overall team was very good. I think Brendan's percentages last night were not great. I'd be interested to see some of the stats back on that. And it was just maybe him getting into certain spots and just not having that composure to be really efficient and execute a fantastic shot or an excellent assist. And he grew into the second half. I thought he was much better in the second half. But the overall point of this sort of point that I wanted to make was that Brendan can really silence a lot of people. If he puts in 6 or 7 games now before January the 1st, and he's excellent and he's consistent and he's getting goals and he's getting assists, he's going to force Leeds United to keep him as a central attacking midfielder. I do feel that with the likes of Fabio Carvalho potentially available, others potentially available, I think they'll probably be looking at Enciso and players of that ilk, maybe Billing, maybe Brooks. Aaronson's got a real point right now to prove to Leeds United that he's the man. They don't need to go out and get anybody else, but for that, you need consistency. For that, you need goals. For that, you need assists. And that is the hard truth right now for Brendan. I thought he grew into the second half, definitely. I don't think there was a bad player last night, but if there was one, I would say that it's Brendan Aaronson in that central attacking midfield role who just needs a little bit more consistency. Unfortunately, energy and endeavour, and I know the manager spoke about him afterwards, but penny for his thoughts, really, when it comes to if the board said to him, look, we can get you a central attacking midfielder, Carvalho's there or Billings there or Brooks is there, is Daniel Farke really going to turn it down? Well, he's going to turn it down if our central attacking midfielder right now is excellent, and Brendan Aaronson needs to prove that it can't just be about the press and everything else. It needs to be more than that. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below as well. That's been a lot of the discussion this morning. Tanaka, wow. Rothwell, wow. And look, yeah, just excellent. And we don't need to get onto that too much, but we'll be back with a watch-along tomorrow night for the Sunderland-Sheffield United game, and then we'll be back the day after with obviously Leeds United versus Blackburn with Ian watching the game at 1:30. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's been an absolute pleasure. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the merch. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.